So the class is live now and people are coming in. As I begin, we'll let them come in. This is Nellie Deutsch, and I'll be in the background introducing the presenters. This is day 2 of MMVC18, the 7th annual event. We started in 2011 and we're going strong. So if you could add in the chat box where you're coming from and where you are. It's always interesting to know where people are. I'm in my boring room. Okay, I could be anywhere, but this is where I am. But it's summer in most parts of the world. So where are you? And you should be anywhere because that's how we can come in. So take advantage, and you don't have to stay home. You can be anywhere. So we've got Poland, 3 Poland. Okay, that's great. I hope it's not too hot today, and that it's going to cool down around the world. All right, so I'm going to start with a presentation. Maybe early in the morning for some of you. It may be late. If you're coming from Australia, for example, and I see it's still hot in Poland. The rain will come, and then we'll complain again when winter comes and we want summer. So our presenter is Rob Howard. He is the founder of EFLtalks. He is an EFL teacher or a TESOL teacher, teaching English to speakers of other languages, or ESOL, English to second language, to speakers of English as a second language. He's involved in a lot of travels and presenting around the world. And he's currently back home, I believe, which is Poland right now, but he lived in Brazil for many years, for at least 15, maybe 12. And but he's originally from the United States, from Boston. So if you hear that accent and it's not something you're familiar with, then it's Bostonian. I don't know, Boston. I guess they sound like Canadians. And that's it. He's also involved in publishing. If you need Rob, just send him a message through Facebook and he'll respond. He likes to help teachers, and he's also involved in ITEFL, the BE-SIG, Business SIG, and I think something else, creative something or other, visual arts, yes, Visual Arts Circle, and co-founder of the Independent Authors and Publishers Group. So if you're interested in publishing, Rob is also the man that you can contact about that. Right, so Rob, hopefully you're here and you heard that. If you closed your ears, that's okay too, but you are here, I know. So welcome, my dear friend.
Hello, how are you, dear?
Well, if I'm dear, then I must be good.
Get some light.
Yes, please do.
Yes.
And I'll put myself in the background. You don't need to see me.
I've got my Nellie Deutsch haircut.
Yes, I decided to stop dyeing my hair because of Rob and some others that I really admire. But then my daughter says, Mom, gray hair for men is one thing. For women, it's another story, but I don't care. So.
Well, when you're as lovely a person as you are, Nellie, anything will look good.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very sweet.
All
right, we need some more light, Rob, if that's possible. I don't know on your face or
a little more.
Maybe behind you would be better, but yes.
Yeah, I can't do much here.
Yeah, a little more if that's possible. Maybe a little.
It's untanned. I just got back from Brazil.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Nellie, for having me once again, and it's a pleasure to be here. And stop with the cell phone. And welcome to everybody who's here. And I hope a lot of you are familiar with EFLtalks. And for those who aren't, I'm going to tell you a lot about it. And let's see. Let's get started. First of all, EFLtalks is teachers teaching teachers. And I'll give you a little bit of history by way of teaching a class. First, we're going to talk about all the W's. What is EFLtalks? Well, as I said, EFLtalks is teachers teaching teachers. And it's all about us giving back to the profession and helping out teachers that are existing and also the future of teaching, because hopefully we'll retire soon and we're going to leave behind something. I'd like to leave behind a legacy that we can all become a part of and help the future of education. So what we'll talk about is 10 and 10, which is my tag for our online EFLtalks. And the 10 and 10 is speakers only have 10 minutes to talk about whatever subject they're presenting, and they can only use 10 PowerPoint slides. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But the whole idea when I started this is, going to many different conferences and going to many different webinars, some of them would go on and on forever, and people would have one good point that they made, but then they would have to stretch it out and talk about it for an hour, like I'm going to try and do today. And the idea is I wanted something fast. The new people that are coming up are really, I don't want to say millennials, but because they're so in tune to the fact that everything is fast now on the internet, on television, in life, look at Snapchat, look at Instagram, all these things. We're talking very short. I wanted something that was fast. And I also wanted it to be fun. And yes, I can do this talk in 10 minutes. Amazingly, I'm going slowly so I can make the hour. We wanted something fun, and we wanted not just the same old lectures. And the biggest thing that was most important to me is I wanted something that was free. We'll talk about a little bit later why I decided to make this free and who the target was that I originally started this for. But we're coming on 3 years now, and I'm very proud to say we have remained free, and we will remain free for all the CPD and teacher development we'll be giving. Now, why did I start it? A little bit of history. I'm very active, as Nellie said, on Facebook, and I started years ago a Facebook group called English Students Worldwide. And this was mainly because I was tired of getting everyday messages from students asking me simple questions over and over again. And it became very time consuming, so I decided to start this group. We've got over 13,000 members right now. And what we do is teachers started sharing their information, their ideas, some of the different questions that would come up. But something was very interesting to me that I started to notice after a while, because when I started the group, I expected this to be for English students. And what I found was that 75% of the people that were here were future English teachers from less advantaged countries. And countries like, I had a lot from Tunisia, a lot from Turkey, a lot from Morocco, had a good number from Brazil. And I realized that, we are really blessed because we get to go to these online webinars. We get to go to IATEFL. We get to go to IATEFL Poland and Hungary and all these different conferences around the world. But most of these people can't afford to do that. So this is why I wanted to say, hello, Tunisia. And this is why I thought I need to do something different than just English students. So people were there. They wanted to improve not only their English, but they wanted to learn the teaching terminology. They wanted to find resources. and they wanted to learn new skills in addition to just learning English. So, Nellie, do you have the videos available? There's the first.
They're in the content.
Okay.
Under media player.
Yep.
See them? Okay, good.
No, they're not coming up.
Okay, I'll bring them up. They're under media.
Yeah, it's not giving me that option in media.
Media, and then there's Howard. Which one? There's like Howard Alice, Howard Faces,
Alice.
Howard
Alice is first.
Okay.
If you could.
So I'm here today as a presenter at the Brazil because of EFL Talk, because I was watching it and you were raffling a membership to Brazil, and I didn't even know much about it. So I got the membership, and today I'm a presenter at Brazil because of EFL Talk. So it's a way to give it back to everything, to a great place that gave so much to me. Thank you.
Well, this was Alice. I ran into her at Braz Teasel just a few weeks ago in Brazil. And Alice was a perfect example. She was a teacher. She actually, through EFLtalks, found out about Braz Teasel, joined Braz Teasel in Brazil, which is our national conference there and teacher association. And she was actually presenting this year. So great EFLtalks success story, and I'm very proud of that, because this is one of the things we're trying to do, is bring teachers into the teachers associations again. Okay, so how did it happen? Well, a little history of me. When I came from the United States and I moved to Brazil, I started a small language school in the Northeast, and then I moved to the big city in Rio and started working for a binational center, teaching English to adults and teenagers. And then I got involved with Braz Teasel, the local teachers association there, which I'm still involved with. And I started speaking. So I've done some speeches for the binational centers, for my own course that I was at, and also for Braz Teasel. So my career was going along this way. And then I was online and I ran across Jason R. Levine, Fluency MC, who some of you may know. And he was doing a course on teachers teaching online, which I had been doing. Excuse me. I had been teaching online also for a few years. And in 2014, I took part in this course, and Jason invited me to do a talk. So it was my first webinar, and I did 2 for Jason right here on WizIQ. And through Jason, I was blessed in meeting this lovely woman, and she invited me to do Moodle MOOC 6 in 2014. And thank you so much, Nellie, because of her and Jason, I haven't stopped online since. I've been sitting in front of this computer now for 4 years. Okay. And so
I hope that's a good thing and you're feeling healthy and well.
Yes, I am. Thank you. It's a wonderful thing. And after that, I did MMVC18. So I guess this is 15, 16, 17, 18, my 4th year, I think. And proud to be here with Nellie. Nellie really has been the key behind my success online. And I can't thank her enough. And she knows if she calls, I'm there. Anyway, so that got me started. And if you're familiar with Sherry Terrell Sanchez, at the same time back then, she came up with a thing called the 30-day challenge. And this was going around Facebook. And what she did is she was challenging teachers to step out of their comfort zone. And I started thinking, how can I step out of my comfort zone? And I was thinking of different ideas. I was online and I wanted to figure out what to do. So I thought about what was popular at the time. conferences were doing Petra Kuchas. TED Talks had just become popular. Everybody started talking about continued CPD, and webinars were very popular. So I took these ideas, put them all together, and came up with the idea of EFLtalks. Now, of course, you always need a hook, something a little bit different. And the hook for me was using only 10 slides in 10 minutes, and hence the 10 and 10. So I took this idea and I was pondering, is it a great idea? What can I do with it? And the whole idea with the 10 minutes was just getting to the point and making one simple point, not going into entire lesson planning or anything else, just working with one point. So I called up a friend of mine in Brazil. He's originally from the UK, Stephen Green, and I asked him, I told him about my idea, and I said, am I crazy? And he said, yes, but it's a good idea. And from that, EFLtalks was born. Hi, guest user. So I started contacting people for speakers, and my first speaker that I contacted was my good friend Enrique Aprea, who is currently the president of Braz Diesel, and he decided to become the first speaker. And then I went on. And, in America, we have an expression, go big or go home. So I decided for my first EFL talk, it was going to be a 10-hour nonstop marathon. And I needed 50 speakers. So I went out and I got 50 speakers all talking for 10 minutes in a 10-hour nonstop marathon. Nellie, you must remember, you helped me do the whole thing. We talked for months before getting this going, and I couldn't have done the technical stuff without Nellie. And boy, did we have fun. Now, who is EFLtalks? Well, here's EFLtalks right now. I've got 180 speakers here right now. We're actually a little bit above that. I haven't updated the picture, but it's kind of hard to see here. If you look around, you'll see a lot of familiar faces. I know Judy's here. I know Julie might be here. Nellie's in here. Helen's here. There's some other speakers that, if you watch Nellie's talks, you're familiar with, because I reached out to professionals that I could have join in. And we're very proud to say, I did the numbers only because we did something for the Fair List and for Eve. And I actually counted this up, and I was surprised to see we're 59% female and 56% non-native speakers. And we've got, I forget the exact breakdown of what the numbers are, but we have lots of men, but even more women, and we even have a frog. And let's see if we have that other video. Nellie.
Okay, what's the other one called?
Not the sampler. I think it says faces.
Yeah, I know. I've got the faces.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the second one. Actually, I put it in an
That's
order.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Just I'll let this run for a minute so you can see some of the people who have done some multiple EFL talks. And you can see there's all different walks of life here. I have some very famous speakers. I have ex-presidents of TESOL, of IATEFL. I have important writers. I have celebrities. I have a frog. And all the way to just brand new teachers. And everybody, I feel, has something to offer. For example, I was looking for a brand new first-year teacher because I've been teaching for 16 years. Nellie's been teaching for years. I know some of you here have been teaching for a long time. And, we forget some of the things that that we've done from 20 years ago. And it was nice having a perspective from a new teacher. 40 years, Helena. You started when you were 2? My goodness. And just to give you an idea, no. Here's our advisory board, of course. I founded it. Nellie is our technical advisor. She's been there from the beginning, helping me out, and always there to lend support. Karen Galvon gets involved with us and helps us. Karen and Judy Wong were both hosts for one of our events. Stephen Green was there from the beginning. Marjorie Rosenberg is helping out and supporting us. And Philip Pound from EFL Magazine, which helps us with promoting things. So we have a very active board, and I couldn't do that without it. Now, where are we? Well, if you go to our website, which is EFLtalks.com, you will find all the information that you need. And what it does is it'll talk about our mission, what we offer. We'll have the different events listed, biographies, and it'll give you all the links to Facebook, LinkedIn, and our most important, our YouTube channel, where we've now migrated all the videos to. So everything goes directly to the YouTube channel, where we have different playlists, so you can go either by general subject, or you can go by the actual event. So if you want to watch a specific event, you go through the playlist here, or you can just look through all the videos. Now, our first event, just to run through quickly, our first event, here's our 50 speakers. We did this on October 4th, 2015, which is when we started. We're celebrating World Teachers Day. Our next event, we did a 2-day event with 40 speakers, I believe, and Nick Peachy hosted that for us. And what we did is, this was a little different. We actually asked people to ask questions that they would want answers from professionals. And what I did is I found the professionals to come in and do talks based on viewer questions. The next event, if you remember back, when IATEFL and TESOL got together and did a joint webinar to celebrate that, coincidentally, Dudley and Marjorie, who were president of TESOL and IATEFL and both friends, we did a special EFL Talks for that. And this helped start off the whole idea of getting people to join teacher associations. And it started a new thread for us. What we first did is I went off to Ecuador, and with Elizabeth Ortiz, we put together a EquiTESOL EFL Talk, where we had 10 Ecuadorian teachers that I met when I was in Ecuador, and Vicky Sawmel hosted this, and we talked about things specific to the region. Next, we did Brazil. I went back to Brazil, and we did Braz TESOL, where we had speakers from the Braz TESOL organization, and very pleased to have Jeremy Harmer for our host and keynote speaker. And that was a fun one. Next, we went off to EFL Talks Latin America, where Gabrielle hosted talks from, let's see, Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, El Salvador, Honduras, Mexico, Peru, Nicaragua, Uruguay, and Venezuela. So this was an exciting one, covering the Latin American countries. And again, we're trying to get people to join the local teacher associations. Next, we did Macedonia, Thrace, which is northern Greece. And Marissa was kind enough to join us there. And we had some of my dear friends from Thessaloniki joined in. Next, we went off to Central America and the Caribbean. And we did another talk. This was the end of last year. My friend Mary Scholl was our keynote speaker. And we had speakers from Belize, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Nicaragua, and Puerto Rico. See, I can do it in 10 minutes. Next, we came back to Europe, and my friend John Arnold and I, along with Christine from Greece, put together a Belta and Teasel Greece talk, which was hosted by Andrew Walkley. And we had some business type started coming in, and I'll talk about the business talks later. Then off to the Middle East, which I like to call this one lovingly EFLtalks, because if you notice, all of our speakers from the Middle East, except for George and myself, we're all PhDs. So it's EFLtalks. Christine Kuhn hosted that, and I got to meet only the pointers. You're not seeing slides? I would hope you'd see slides. And one that I'm very proud of, I had an idea because of all the talk that's been going on about equality and women not becoming plenary speakers, and this has been going on for a while. I decided to celebrate International Women's Day, and we did a special International Women's Day for over 2 days with inspiring women from ELT. And there's too many people to go through. Judy, are you awake yet? Judy and Karen hosted this for me because I thought, it's Women's Day. Nobody wants to see me. And we had our keynote speakers were Shelley and Marjorie. And we had wonderful talks. And really, if you're a female and you're looking to get ahead, barely, if you're looking to get ahead in English, really, I suggest listen to these women. This was so powerful to hear the messages coming out from different women around the industry, past presidents, people that really, current presidents too. And they really had inspiring, positive messages for women in ELT. Very proud of this one. And we're also helping out. Marjorie Rosenberg was doing some research about getting unstuck and getting out of your comfort zone. So we did a special 1 hour with Marjorie about stretching out of your comfort zone. And this is part of a research project she's doing for University of Austria in Graz. I hope I said it right. Whoops. And next, we did one for Rachel Pauling. I have since studied neurolanguage coaching just to improve myself and improve what I offer. And no comment on that. And we did one with Rachel Pauling, and this was great for those of you interested in coaching and really getting a different aspect on teaching one-to-one. The last big one that we did online was EFLtalks out of Africa. And Hind Elias, who's with AfriTeasel, got together presidents and vice presidents from organizations throughout Africa, and we did this. Oh, great, Judy. You'll enjoy it. Tell her I said hi. And we had some great talks coming out of Africa. And one we'll talk about a little bit more. We've done My Dream, our first EFLtalks live event. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But 10 very special and dear friends joined Enrique and I, and we put on our first on-stage live program. at the Braz-Teesel International Conference just a few weeks ago. I just got home. I don't know when. But we'll talk about that a bit more. And what we're working on right now, coming up in a couple weeks, I believe it'll be August 19th. But if you're interested, I hope you follow and join us. We're doing a special EFL talk strictly for business English. And we're doing this with the IATEFL-BSIG, of which I'm Joint Online Coordinator, and also with JALT, which is the BizCom Association for Japan Association of Language Teachers. And what we're doing is we'll do the regular online program on August 19th, but we're going to be using these recordings, and we'll be playing these at the JALT conference, which will be in September in Tokyo. And our ongoing project, which we're always working on, is the Teacher's Video Glossary. And what we do with this is I record all throughout the year. Every few days I try to do a new recording with a new speaker, which I'll get back to now that I'm not traveling for a month. And what we're doing is we're trying to build a video glossary. For instance, I was very surprised. I had a third-year teacher education, English teacher education student from a university in Morocco who didn't understand what scaffolding was. And I started thinking, you know, we take for granted we know all these terms because we hear them all the time at conferences, but they're not getting a lot of this stuff in university because they're not connected to teacher associations and conferences. So what we're doing is we're taking all of the terminology that we take for granted, and we're putting together an alphabetical, complete video glossary so any new or upcoming teacher can go through, search by the specific thing, whether it be scaffolding, teacher talking time, PBL, EIEIO, whatever it may be, and see all the pertinent videos and get the what it is, how to use it, and when to use it, so to further their education. And some of the other ones that are coming up in the near future, the Visual Arts Circle will be doing one, I believe, in September. This is to promote the Image Conference, which will be in Athens in October. I'll be there. Come see me. And where I'm still working, Nellie, on the Young Learners. And I want to do Young Learners, which I originally had planned for February, but it's been too busy. But we're going to do EFLtalks Young Learners. And Nellie, I hope you'll still be our host and keynote speaker. We're going to put one together for research, one for assessment, one for the UK, Saudi Arabia, and we're currently working on having live shows in Kuwait and Peru. Now, this will be online, Nellie. And we hope that you'll join our Facebook group. If you go to Facebook and you search the groups, just EFL Talks, join us there. All the information is there. And we also started a new group called EFLTD. And this is was a spinoff from the English students group. This is strictly for English language teachers. And it's a place for us to share more ideas about teaching, more resources, and everything else. Now, instead of how, we have the wow. Here's the numbers so far. Check my time, we're okay. So far we have over 190 EFL talkers. I've managed to do over 275 videos. We've had over 15 online events. We've reached viewers in over 200 countries. And I just did the math on this the other day and realized it's 46 hours of teacher development. So next time you're sick and you're home with nothing to do for 2 days on the weekend, you can watch every single EFL talk there is. Okay? We've had over 500,000 viewers, and we're now over 1 million views. And as the title says, we're counting. We're still growing. I'm definitely on target to hit my 200 talkers by the end of the year. And I'd like to get over 300 videos. Great. And the exciting thing that we're hoping to do more of in the future, and if any of you are instrumental and can help out with this, we love the idea of doing this EFL Talks Live on stage event. And what we did is Braz Teasel brought us in for the end of the second conference night as the evening entertainment. We did basically a live EFL talk show. And you see Enrique and I at the end of Braz Teasel in Brasilia a few years ago. Enrique and I sat against the stage just like this. And he said, you know what, let's do this live. And as you can see on stage, 10 very dear friends and most, if not all, recognizable famous speakers got up there, and we did the humorous side of ELT, and we had a blast. If you look at some of the quotes, you'll notice that Dorothy agrees. We had a blast. We had a blast of cold air. We were actually outside. Well, we were in a semi-enclosed building, but we had blasts of cold air coming in. It was 4 degrees centigrade, windy, raining, but we had this beautiful 3-meter by 5-meter LED screen to show the talks on, and we were live on stage. It was wonderful. And we hope to do this all around the world more in the future. And if anybody's interested in having us put one together for your conference, get in touch. I'm happy to come and put one together for you. So these are our EFL talkers so far, and we'll be adding more. And I'm hoping that some of you here today, if you haven't joined us today, you will be joining us in the future. And we were lucky enough, very proud to say, in 2016, after our first event, we were nominated for an Elton's Award in Innovation in Teacher Resources. And we're very proud. And we do a new thing now. If you're sitting there with your phone, new thing that I have, it's called a Cephley. Post a Cephley to the page. And a Cephley is a selfie with the EFL Talks in the background. So take your phone, turn around, get a picture of you with the EFL Talks webinar in the background, and post it on our page. We'd love to have you there. And for those of you interested in getting more, if you go to the page, you can get more information on this. We came out with volume 1 last year of our Companions Guide, where I believe it was 22 chapters of articles that people wrote for us, going further into what they did for their talk. And we're doing this because EFL Talks is solely sponsored by me. We have no commercial sponsors. We have support sponsors, but not with money. And yes, I'll be there, Anna. And what we're doing is, this is how we're raising money to keep EFL Talks going. The book is available in both digital format and print on demand. I don't have my copy here. But what we've done is we do cost from Amazon plus $1. And we're not looking to make a lot of profit, but that $1 will go to help support EFL Talks to keep it going, paying for the website, paying for the server and the hosting. And we hope you can help out. And what we're still finishing up, I was hoping to get this done for IATEFL, but I haven't finished it yet, is our EFLtalks cookbook. Now, people say, oh, what do you mean cookbook? Are you cooking up lesson plans? And no, this is really a food cookbook. And the whole idea, instead of teachers teaching teachers, it's teachers feeding teachers. And what we've done is I've got, I think so far, about 40 recipes, and I'm still collecting more. And we have actual recipes for teachers that are busy. You know, we're very busy. It's hard for us to do everything. And we use the idea of 10 and 10 to make it fun. So you use 10 ingredients with only 10 minutes of preparation time. Now, if it takes 10 minutes to put everything together and you stick it in the oven for an hour, that's okay. It's not cooking time. It's just hands-on preparation time of 10 minutes. And the same thing, we're only making $1 off of this book. It should be available soon. And I believe that the prices are, if you go to Amazon, for both books, the digital book is around $3. And I think the print on demand shipped to you in most places is like $7. And out of that, $1 goes to EFLtalks. So if you, yes, okay, good. It's a good, we have some great recipes here. And so enough of me talking. Nellie, if we could pull up the sampler video, and let me just give you a taste of what some of the videos are like. I've got a short sampler. We'll stop partway through, I think. And that one should say sampler.
I was just checking the time.
Yeah, how are we doing? I'll stop halfway through.
No, it's okay. No, it's fine. I can extend. The thing is that I extend by 30, so don't think like you've got another 30 minutes.
Oh, no. I'm already talking too much.
The English language teaching profession is, as you know, mostly represented by women. It's not exclusive, but we are representing the profession. There is an unfortunate fact in society, and that is that when a profession is considered feminized, it is also devalued.
Who knows what the future is going to bring? My plans are to continue with my PLN. I can't imagine giving it up. I've had the luck of being able to travel to places as far away as Moscow and Peru. I've got places coming up, Moldova, Romania, Bulgaria, new ideas for plenary talks, learning from my colleagues around the world, and there's some projects kind of in the background that I'm thinking about.
A set of wealth, there's a wealth of material on there. There are resources such as books and articles, radio, podcast, mixed links, inspiring quotations. There are blogs, webinars.
What I would like to talk about in my 10 minutes. And there were so many things that I wanted to share with you, and it was so difficult to choose. But in the end, it was the word inspiring which gave me my inspiration. I realized that the word actually sounds like a combination of two words, inspire and ring, like in a boxing ring.
Boys and girls to do the same tasks. Girls can move chairs just as easily as boys. Note the different types of question types that you may tend to ask boys and girls, and redress the balance if necessary. Remember that you are a significant role model. Make the most of it. Tip 2, watch your language. Avoid gendered language. Use gender-neutral pronouns.
Know anything about what I'm talking about in terms of TD-SIG or SIG or any of those things in general, you may first want to learn a little bit about IATEFL, which is the teacher association from which TD-SIG is one of 16 special interest groups.
Help kids and help teenagers and help older people to develop motor skills.
Okay, I'll stop it there. The entire sampler is on the site, but better yet, watch all the videos. And again, all you have to do is remember EFLtalks.com and all the links to everything. Facebook, to get in touch with me, to the YouTube channel, to the events, is available through EFLtalks.com. We tried to make it easy. And, you know, there's an old saying that, you know, behind every success is a good teacher. And what I can say behind me is 190 good teachers. And I'm really blessed with my PLN and the people that are here. Helena's here, has done a talk. Judy, I know, is here. I haven't seen everybody else who's here right now. Sorry if I missed some of you. But Nellie, you know, all of you and everybody on this page has helped to make this work for me. And I got to thank everybody there. And I thank all of you for taking the time and listening to me early in the morning or late in the afternoon. And so with that, we're EFL Talks, and I'm done EFL talking. If you have any questions, I would love to hear from you. And Nellie, thanks again for everything. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure, as always, to be here. You are the queen. And...
You didn't say the queen of what?
The queen of online.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
No. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, and thank you to EFL Talks. And you're right, it's all the teachers, and I'm always amazed because all these live online sessions that I organize, also for free, by the way, and from my my family, my husband and I sponsor, I guess, because it's the same bank account. It's the teachers that make it. You know, it's not, I mean, I don't feel like I deserve anything. I think it's the teachers. And as long as there are teachers out there who want to learn together, and it's the teachers teaching teachers on MMVC18, on VW MOOC 18, on CO19 that's going to come up in February. These are all teachers. And you know, we can't really... ignore the fact that teachers, we are amazing. Teachers are amazing human beings that are doing so much in this world because they love, they are compassionate, and they care about others. I mean, that's the profession, and we should be patting ourselves, on the back, and letting the world know what we're doing, because we're kind of in our own circles. And, I think one of the teachers, I forget her name, mentioned it. We should go out there, Rob, beyond EFL Talks, or bring EFL Talks and all of this to other teachers. I know that in my session, there are other teachers, not just English language teachers, but we should go beyond that, to governments, to countries, to the UN, for that matter, UNESCO, and tell them that we are, doing all of this, and maybe they can help out.
Well, I'm always hoping that for that, and it's inspiring what you've been doing for years. This is why I got into it, and I hope I'm making you proud and continuing your legacy, because you've been doing it longer than me.
No, that's not the point. The point is that that we should go beyond the teaching world and into other worlds, and to let everybody know that that we care, and we're doing a lot, and we can do a lot more, but we need their help. We need we need organizations that go beyond teachers, because teachers we can't really afford very much. Right. But organizations can help us move along, because as I mentioned before, the teaching profession is probably a dying profession, unfortunately, because teachers are they're retiring. We're getting older, and young teachers are not interested. There are a lot more lucrative jobs, a
Yep.
lot better paying jobs, better respected. And I think respect is probably one of the key things here. We're not getting the respect, and that's why I think that we should go out there and
Yes.
tell everyone that we are strong and that, we need more respect.
Well,
So that new teachers will come and
Yeah.
it will be a respected profession. Which
Yeah.
it's not.
If you look at the numbers that have been coming out of the U.S., more people are leaving the profession than coming into the profession. And, I know in Brazil, people are leaving the profession because they can't afford it anymore. It's a shame that we don't value probably one of the best resources in the world, and that's teachers. And you and I have gone and talked about this forever. And, if we can each do something and spread the word, hopefully someday we'll make it better.
Yeah, well, that's what I think that the point is that teachers can actually bring peace to the world. And I think that's what Jeff Cooper mentioned yesterday with Tapped In. There's so much potential out there. We just need to persuade organizations to build it because we're not developers. We're not, we have what we have, which is a caring heart and lots of content and, other skills, but we also lack in some skills. So we need others to help us. That's what I'm saying. But yes, teachers should be respected, Helena, and that's what we have to put out there. So thank you, Rob. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Our next session is going to start in about 9 minutes, and everyone's invited. And spread the word in your, in your network and with your PLN so that others can join us. The more we are, the stronger. And I think that's what EFLtalks is about, getting the numbers. And that's why Rob's 1 million views, but, millions and millions of teachers getting together on EFLtalk doesn't just have to be with the F. It could be teachers.
Yep. Someday I hope to change this.
To add to it. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Nellie, again.